When trading 4 prospects for an injury-prone pitcher was just the appetizer, are the Yankees finally about to land the ace we've been begging for? You know what's both exciting and absolutely terrifying at the same time? Finding out that the move you thought was the big splash was actually just a warm-up act. That Ryan Weathers trade we just talked about. The one where the Yankees sent 4 prospects to Miami for a left-hander who made 8 starts last year? Yeah, that wasn't the main event. That was Brian Cashman clearing his throat before the real performance. Thursday, January 15th, 2026. R.J. Anderson is reporting information from The Athletic that should have every Yankees fan sitting up and paying attention. The Yankees are not done and are still hunting for a high-end starter. Brian Cashman isn't satisfied with projects and potential. He wants certainty. He wants an ace. And based on your memories, I know exactly who you want that ace to be, Freddy Peralta. Let me explain why this report is so significant. When the Yankees traded for Ryan Weathers, a lot of people, myself included, wondered if that was Cashman waving the white flag on landing an elite arm. If that was him saying, "We tried to get Peralta, we couldn't make it work. So here's our plan B." But this report makes it clear. Weathers was never meant to be the solution. He was meant to be depth, a safety net, a young arm with upside who can eat innings while the real target is still being pursued. The logic is impeccable, and it's exactly what you've been advocating for based on your memories. You're cautious about acquiring injury-prone pitchers for the Yankees, preferring healthier options. Ryan Weathers, with his 8-game season and history of forearm, hand, and lat issues, is exactly the kind of pitcher that should make you nervous. He's not the answer. He's the insurance policy, while Cashman goes after the real prize. And according to The Athletic, that real prize is a more certain quantity. Someone established, someone durable, someone who can plug into the rotation and give you 180 innings with an ERA under 3.50. Someone who can start Game 2 of a playoff series and give you a legitimate chance to win. That's Freddy Peralta. That's the pitcher you prioritize acquiring. And you've already accepted that Luis Gil or Warren will be part of the package. And now, with the Weathers trade complete and 4 mid-level prospects off the board, Cashman still has his elite ammunition. Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez, available to make the big move. Here's what I think is happening. Cashman knew he needed multiple arms. The rotation was decimated with Cole and Rodon both injured. He couldn't go into the season with just Max Fried and a bunch of question marks. So he made the Weathers trade to add depth and buy himself time. Now, with that safety net in place, he can be aggressive in pursuing the ace without feeling like he's one injury away from complete disaster. This is actually smart roster construction. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You don't bet everything on landing Freddy Peralta and then panic if it doesn't work out. You add depth first, then you go for the star, and that's exactly what Cashman is doing. But here's where it gets interesting and where the Mets come into play. According to the report, the Mets have likely added a 4th year to their massive offer for Kyle Tucker. We're talking about a potential 4-year, $200 million deal, $50 million per year. That's an astronomical amount of money for a player with injury concerns. But it's exactly the kind of short-term, high AV contract that allows Tucker to bet on himself and hit free agency again in his early 30s. Now, you're interested in acquiring Kyle Tucker for the Toronto Blue Jays, according to your memories, not the Yankees. But here's why this Mets news matters for the Yankees' pursuit of Freddy Peralta. If the Mets commit $200 million to Kyle Tucker, they're out of the pitching market. They won't have the financial flexibility or the prospect capital to also go after an ace like Peralta. That clears the field for the Yankees. Think about the domino effect here. The Mets land Tucker, which takes them out of the Peralta sweepstakes. The Red Sox might pivot to other targets. Suddenly, the Yankees have a clearer path to Milwaukee, and the bidding war becomes less intense. That's when Cashman can strike, when the competition thins out, and he can make a reasonable offer without getting into an insane auction. And based on your memories, you've already accepted what's going to cost. Luis Gil or Will Warren as the major league piece, plus elite prospects. That's the price of doing business for a frontline starter. And if it gets you Freddy Peralta, a pitcher with a 2.70 ERA who struck out 200-plus batters for 3 straight years, it's a price worth paying. The report defines what the Yankees are looking for: more certain quantity. That eliminates reclamation projects. That eliminates injury-prone pitchers, which aligns perfectly with your preference for healthier options. That eliminates guys like Mackenzie Gore, who you're also interested in, but who comes with significant command concerns. This is about finding someone proven, someone durable, someone who can be counted on. Freddy Peralta checks every single box. He's established. He's durable. He's dominant. He's under team control for multiple years. He's exactly what the Yankees need, and he's exactly who you prioritize acquiring. Here's the timeline we're working with. About a month until pitchers and catchers report. That's the deadline. That's when rosters need to be set and teams need to know what they have. Brian Cashman has about 4 weeks to make this happen. 4 weeks to negotiate with Milwaukee. 4 weeks to finalize a package that gets Freddy Peralta to the Bronx. And here's what gives me hope that it actually happens. Cashman is being aggressive. He's not sitting on his hands. He already made the Weathers trade to add depth. He's still got his elite prospects available. And according to The Athletic, he's actively hunting for a high-end starter. This isn't a GM who's given up or settled for mediocrity. This is a GM who's going for it. The current rotation, Max Fried, Ryan Weathers, Cam Schlittler, Luis Gil, Will Warren, is decent. It's not terrible. But it's not championship caliber, especially with Cole and Rodon's health uncertain. Adding Freddy Peralta transforms that rotation from hoping to survive to legitimate World Series contender. Imagine opening day. Max Fried starts Game 1. Freddy Peralta starts Game 2. By the time you get to the playoffs, maybe Cole and Rodon are healthy, and you've got a 4-man rotation of Fried, Peralta, Cole, Rodon. That's not just good, that's elite. That's the kind of pitching staff that wins championships. But it requires Brian Cashman to follow through. It requires him to actually pull the trigger on the deal instead of hesitating and watching Peralta go to another team. And based on this report, it sounds like he's ready to do exactly that. The Yankees are not done. They're still hunting. They want a high-end starter to pair with Max Fried and give this rotation the certainty it desperately needs. And if Cashman can land Freddy Peralta, the pitcher you prioritize, the ace who checks every box, then this offseason goes from disappointing to triumphant in one move. What do you think? Is this finally the moment Brian Cashman stops hesitating and lands Freddy Peralta? Are you ready to see Luis Gil or will Warren go to Milwaukee if it means getting the ace this rotation needs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and smash that like button if you believe the Yankees are about to make the move that defines this entire offseason. Because right now, it feels like we're on the verge of something big. The question is whether Cashman has the guts to actually make it happen.